Hello, my dear students. I hope all of you are doing fine and studying well at your homes. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about cultivation of fruit drugs, and our today's topic is collection of drugs. After cultivation of drugs, they need to be collected and processed prior to marketing. So, while preparing the drugs for commercial purposes, several methods are adopted to meet the pharmacopoeial requirements. These methods include proper collection, harvesting, drying, and garbling. Collection. The drug should be collected at a time when the quality and quantity is appropriate. Also, the collected plant parts should be kept away from soil to avoid any contamination. The collected parts should be thoroughly cleaned and placed in clean baskets or bags so that it does not get mixed with any foreign matter. The drugs, which constitute of leaf and flowering tops of the plants, should be collected just before they reach their flowering stage or they get mature. While the plants such as aloe, they should be collected when the leaves are thick. The flowers need to be collected just before pollination or before they expand fully. Also, they should be collected in dry weather or during morning hours. The barks are generally collected in spring or early summer when the cambium, that is the dividing part, is active, as it is easy to detach them from the stem. They are also collected in autumn or in rainy season for the same reasons. There are three main methods for collecting barks. First method is felling. In the felling method, the tree is cut from the base and the bark is peeled out from the tree. Second method, that is uprooting. In this, the roots of the plant are dug out and the bark is stripped off from the roots as well as branches. Next method is coppicing. In the coppicing method, the plant is allowed to grow for a definite period of time and then cut off at a specific distance from soil. The remaining part that is in the soil is allowed to grow again into shoots and aerial parts. These new aerial parts formed are cut off and the bark is collected. The fruit should be collected when they are fully grown but can be ripe or half ripe. The roots are collected in spring and sliced transversely or longitudinally to facilitate drying. Rhizomes are cut when they store ample of preserved food material and also the amount of chemical constituents is maximum in them. The unorganized drugs such as gums, raisins, lettuces, juices, etc. can be collected as soon as they ooze out of the plants. Next important method for preparing a drug for commercial use is harvesting. Harvesting, it is an important operation in cultivation technology. Medicinal plants should be harvested during optimal season or time period to ensure production of medicinal plant materials and herbal products of best possible quality. That is, to have the best quality of the plant, they should be collected at an optimal time period. Harvesting can be done efficiently by the skilled workers. As it is a laborious job because many skilled workers are employed, so it may not be economical. The underground drugs are harvested by mechanical devices such as diggers or lifters. The roots or tubers are washed in the water to get rid of any earthy metals, soils, or anything that is attached to them. Flowers, seeds, and small fruits are harvested by seed strippers. Drugs, which constitute of aerial parts, are harvested by binders for economic reason. Next process is drying. A drug should be properly dried so that we can store it for a longer period of time. So this process includes several operations which depend upon the source of drug and its chemical nature. Drying basically involves the removal of excess moisture from the drug so that we can prolong it a longer time and also improve its quality and inhibit the microbial growth. Drying also facilitates pulverizing or grinding of drug. The drugs are sliced or cut into smaller pieces so that we can easily dry them. The flowers are generally shade dried to retain their color and volatile content. Now, Depending upon the type of constituent that a drug contains, a suitable method can be applied from the following. First method is natural drying or sun drying. Second method is artificial drying, that is with the help of mechanical dryers. In natural drying, it can be either in direct sun or in the shade. If the drug contains volatile principles or the color of the drug has to be retained, it should be dried in shade under the shade. Artificial drying can be achieved by means of drying in oven or in vacuum or with the help of spray dryers. Next process is garbling. It is done when the sand, dirt or foreign organic parts of the same plant have to be removed from the drug. The quality of the drug suffers if any extraneous matter is permitted in the drug. So as to remove all the foreign matters, garbling is done. For example, excessive stems should be removed in case of drugs like lobelia or stramonium. The pieces of bark should be removed from the gum acacia. Pieces of iron should be separated by using magnets before crushing and shifting of castor seeds. Then, storage of crude drugs. Preservation of crude drugs can only be done when there is the sound knowledge of its physical and chemical properties, because the physical and chemical changes occurring in the drug can affect the drug majorly. All the drugs should be processed or preserved in a well closed and filled container, which is away from the sunlight and stored in a cool place. The drugs should be stored in the premises which are waterproof, fireproof, and rodent-proof, as the drugs are very much susceptible to microbial growth, so it should be stored in a waterproof container and in waterproof premises. Apart from the protection against adverse physical and chemical changes, the drug should also be preserved from insect or mold attacks. Generally, the containers that are used for storage are fiberglasses or glass-lined containers. Also, use of wooden boxes, paper bags, or newspapers is prohibited for storing crude drugs. The storage area or the storeroom should contain an air conditioner with a dehumidifier to protect it from any kind of foreign material. That was all about the collection of crude drugs. I hope you have understood the chapter very well. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.